Yeah.
Clap for him. Go ahead, Phil.
Another spanking right there.
Poor Ranger. Did take
You know I never cheated on your mother. 27 years and nothing.
Look at that. Some hockey.
All
Nothing but
issues,
net.
family issues. Family issues don't matter when you're getting your face rode.
Listen.
All those trips to Cincinnati.
You ain't lying. Like,
Memphis.
Until
whoa.
Hey, you fall victim once, it's all
I
it
know
takes.
everybody that's listening right now heard
Next thing
that.
you know, I'm bringing
You
something
better
home to
check your
mother and I
drawers,
need
bro.
flowers.
You better check that shit, man. You definitely ripped the leather on that seat, brother. God
Catherine Lamb. She wanted me.
Danny Green can eat my balls.
and also
He's
One
making
more scotch
one
and she
out of
would've-
f***ing 30.
whacking his bag again is fucking crazy. Shout out to my dad.
damn.
He is really psychotic and fucking iconic. I love that guy.
Psychotic and iconic. Psychotic and iconic. Psychotic and iconic.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 15. I hope everybody enjoyed that little promo that the mastermind Phil put together. That was all our first time seeing that, so we're all kind of laughing and a little out of sorts right now. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in tonight on Facebook and YouTube. If you can, please share it for us. Thank you to everybody that's subscribed to all of our platforms. Big shout out to Just Ant, as always, for our intro song. Thank you so much. Everybody go follow him on Instagram at Just Ant. I'm going to pass it off to Mike Mahomes or Russell Palante, whatever his name is tonight, and we're going to get the show started.
Hold on. Before we do that, it is episode 14. Excuse my guy. He's a
What'd
little
I say?
rusty. He's a little rusty.
What'd I say?
15.
Sour talk. It's my
It's
bad. My
sour
bad.
talk. He's a little rusty.
I had a
so-
long 6
I didn't
days,
even
man.
catch
My
that.
bad.
But the squad is back. We're ready to pod. Mike, let's go.
Welcome back, Mikey Pauls.
What's up, baby? I'm ready
I
to go.
called you by your real name,
I appreciate it.
but I'll think of something unique this show.
Well, the Godfather just gave me Mike Mahomes.
Yo, I approve. Tell Godfather I love it. I love it. You can call me Mike Mahomes all year.
Mike Mahomes.
Please do.
You're going to come in second again.
Facts.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Hey, take it easy over there, right?
Take it easy.
Oh, I love that. So tonight, guys, got a couple announcements first. First and foremost, I want the P&I audience to know that permanently, starting next week, this is for the entire NFL season, all right? We will be live streaming every Monday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time,
Don't forget it.
just in case.
Hey, Phil, sound the alarm. Let's go. We're coming. Every
Mondays and
Monday and
Thursdays.
Thursday, we're bringing heat. Let's go.
So right before the Monday Night Football game and Thursday Night Football games, spend your time with P&I, please.
You won't regret it.
You won't. You won't, okay? So that's the first announcement. Second announcement. In case you guys didn't realize this, I want the audience to know this. We may or may not use anything that you say in the chat during our show as our show title. So ironically, episode 12, which has been our most successful episode to date as of today, it got the most views so far, right? Whacking his bag was literally, so that's our show title for episode 12. That was literally suggested to us by Nick's father,
The Godfather.
the Godfather.
Absolutely.
Papa
The legend,
Pasillo
the
said
goat.
whacking his bag in the comments, and we loved it so much we made it our show title. So I challenge all of you to give us a show title for every episode going forward. You may or may not get that opportunity. We may use it, and we will credit you if we do use it. So thanks, Godfather, for the episode 12 title. Phil, you know what? Actually, hold that thought. Let me preview the show for you real quick, all right? Tonight's show, you're going to want to tune into this. Top 10 PPR running backs. It is sure to give you headaches based on what I've been told by
Arguments?
by my cast, okay? It's going to floor you. So stay tuned for the top 10 PPR running backs. Then we got an NFC North preview. So we got Packers, Bears, Vikings, Lions. We got some Wildwood Sports Cars show results. As you know, Nick and Phil, our P&I guys, they were at the show this weekend, buying, selling, trading.
All that.
And then we got
And some.
our normal quick hitters of news at the end of the show. A lot of fantasy-related news today. So, that being said, we're going to go right into the PPR running backs right now. Phil, you know what to do.
Let's go. Let's fucking go, baby.
It never gets old.
I'm pumped for this.
Yo.
Let's go.
I think
I'm
we
ready
gotta
to
start
fucking
off-
pie.
Yo,
On
go.
some real shit, I'm ready to pie. Let's go.
welcome back, Pauls.
Let's do it.
You're gonna be on the heater first, because Mike promised us this is gonna floor everybody. Mike, take it away with your top 10 PPR running back list. Start with number 10.
All right.
And I'll try not to shit myself and run out of the room.
All right. So, number 10, we're starting off with Austin Eckler. Number 9 is going to be James Robinson. Excuse me. Number 8 is Aaron Jones. Number 7 is Ezekiel Elliott. Number 6 is Chubbs like Draymond. Number 5 is Alvin Kamara. Number 4 is Jonathan Taylor. Number 3 is Derrick Henry. Number 2 is Dalvin Cook. And number 1 is Christian McCaffrey. And from that look, I already know what's going through his head.
Face palm. Face palm. Let's go.
Wow. Oh, whoa.
Let's go, bro. He's ready to pie, too.
You all right, Mike?
Never better.
You got a fever or something?
I got the jab.
That's a jibber jab right there. Oh, my God.
I got
My
the
jaw
dad.
dropped literally one player into the list. Two players,
talking
actually.
back.
Oh, I love it. I can't wait to talk about this. Nick,
All right.
Go ahead.
So we're starting with number 10.
go
going to
ahead,
1.
son.
I got Saquon Barkley at 10. I got 9, Austin Eckler. 8, Aaron Jones. 7, Ezekiel Elliott. 6, Alvin Kamara. 5, Nick Chubb. 4, Jonathan Taylor. 3, Derrick Henry. 2, Dalvin Cook. And number 1, CMC, Christian McCaffrey. And that's no cap, of course. So let's get
Man,
straight to it. You know
I'm
what I
seeing
mean?
a lot of Jonathan Taylor love already.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You guys are going to learn today.
I can't wait to
Oh,
hear this.
I'm yeah, let's just go.
You got
please,
your,
go
you
ahead.
got your pen and paper?
Yeah. Pen and paper.
Number 10, Chris Carson. Chris
What?
Carson.
See what I'm saying?
Phil, sound the alarm!
I want you to
sound
sound
the
the
fucking alarm!
Chris Carson, I said.
Chris who?
I'll say it again.
Fam.
Chris
What's
Carson.
going on? Like, I'm
Number
confused.
10, Chris Carson.
It's weird. Russell Wilson doesn't have a team, but he's going to have a top 10.
I've been screaming.
Yeah, I'm confused on that. Go
Me
ahead.
too,
Go
but
ahead.
okay, carry on.
Oh, who said he didn't
Carry
have an
the hell
offense?
on then.
Excuse me.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Number 9, Saquon Barkley. I don't really even love that one, to be honest with you. But number 8,
Shocked.
Ezekiel Elliott. Number 7, Aaron Jones. Number 6, Jonathan Taylor. My stone cold number 5 lock. He's a lock for top 5. A lock.
Don't do this.
Full Chubb. Nick. Full Chubb.
Full toe, baby.
My guy. My other guy. Everyone knows I love Chris Carson. But I love Nick Chubb more. Guaranteed top 5. Guaranteed. Number 4, Derrick Henry. Number 3, Alvin Kamara. Number 2, Dalvin Cook. Number 1, CMC, Christian McCaffrey. Boom.
Wow.
I am shocked you had Saquon at 9.
No. I'm shocked he has Chris Carson at 10.
Yeah, I mean,
I need an explanation. I'm confused.
You want it now?
Yeah.
Phil, get ready to fire the gunshots for me, all right? Chris Carson. Shorter please every year, right? So, career high 4.8 yards per carry last year, coming off an injury. Let me tell you that.
regular.
Number 2, I'm hearing rumblings that Rashad Penny might not even make the team. For all those people that have been saying that for the last 3 years. The man got the contract. Did you see the contract? He's one of the highest paid running backs in the league for a reason. He's legit, okay?
It's just market value.
Last season, though, minimum 100 touches. Chris Carson was top 10 among running backs in fantasy points per touch. Number 10. Remember, it's a top 10 list. I said he's number 10. In 8 games last season in which he had at least 14 touches, he averaged 16.7 points per game. That's RB1 production, fellas. The argument against him, they always say health, health, health. I want to tell you guys a little something. Since 2018, he's played 41 games, which is more than Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Joe Mixon, Saquon Barkley, Austin Eckler, and it's one fewer than Aaron Jones. Just want to, make sure people know that he's on the same playing field. Those guys are all going early in the first round, right? Most of them.
That's because they deserve to go early in the first round.
He's quietly been very productive as a starting running back in this league.
Mike.
He's been literally right there each year, top 10 in fantasy points per game. On a per game basis, he's been there.
But he's never been top 10 in his whole career.
How do you know that?
I have stats.
I just said he was top 10 last year in fantasy points per touch.
You're talking about per touch. I'm talking about for the whole year. If we're doing top 10 for the whole year, I want my running back to be healthy all year.
I just debunked that. I just debunked that. What, he missed 2 games last year? I think he finished as RB.
He missed 4 games last year.
So he missed 4 games. I believe that he finished. Hold on.
That's a quarter of the season, cuz.
I'm going to give this to you. Hold
no
on.
cap, of course.
I think he literally finished 12th.
Oh. Oh my God.
Well then.
Well, shooting a load. There it is.
Episode 14.
Shooting a load.
I mean,
that's good.
I just fired my shot. Chris Carson at 10. That's my fucking shot. That definitely just sidetracked me. Thanks, Pops.
Oh my God, Dad. Oh my God. Okay, so carry on with the Chris Carson.
Nonsense.
That gave me the exact amount of time I needed to see where he finished last year.
Oh, I'll finish it for you. 19th.
You are correct, it looks like.
No cap, of course.
So 19th, missing 4 games. But he's in the top 10 on a point per touch basis. I'm going to take my odds in a 17-game season, given that they were easing him in last year, right? And he was more involved as a passer last year. He averaged 4 targets per game in the last quarter of the season. I am willing to gamble on his upside in that Seattle offense. And he's obviously got the goal line looks, and I expect that he'll be playing a lot more this year. They were easing him in for half the season last year. So, there you go.
Okay, well, so you have him over Antonio Gibson? I like Gibson more than Carson.
I do. I think he's going to have double-digit touchdowns and probably about 1,400 total yards. And
in 17 games, you think he's going to play every game?
No. I would be surprised if any of these guys we said play all 17 at this point.
I agree with that too. I mean, they all kind of relatively, missed time. So, but I'm just shocked by Chris Carson.
He had 9
really
touchdowns
have him
last year.
He's probably maybe like 15 on my board, maybe.
Everything that I have seen on my research has him in that 10 to 12 range. I feel comfortable putting him at 10.
Comfortable?
Yeah, you're comfortable.
Even in PPR. And non-PPR, I'm certified locking him in top 10.
Certified.
But PPR, that's why it's a bold prediction.
It's very
I will
bold.
remind everybody of that when we get to bold predictions. That's going to be our last show before the season starts.
Okay, so you have him at top 10 for a bold prediction, pretty much.
I don't think it's too bold, but it is technically a bold prediction. So
bold.
lock it in.
That's bold.
That's bold, bro. Okay.
I come here, I'm well researched, my friend.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just kind of perplexed that you have Chris Carson in your top 10.
You just got to hope that he's healthy. I mean,
Yeah.
he's going to probably have around 270 touches this year. So he's a lock for 10 touchdowns easy.
Yeah.
And that's the highest scoring way. That's the highest scoring way to produce in fantasy. So,
And
touchdowns.
I'll be honest too. I know Powder doesn't have Saquon in his top 10. I had Saquon at 10, and you had him at 9. So we're all pretty low on Saquon this year.
Yeah, well, before I take over that Saquon note right there, I just want to say one more thing about Chris Carson. So, 11 full weeks last year, he was 7th in running back fantasy points.
Thanks for tuning in, Dill.
Yeah, shout out Dylan.
I mean, that's pretty generous. Look, he said Carson's a wraparound RB2. I think he's an RB1. He generally will be going in the 4th, 5th round. This is a guy that I'm likely interested in snagging in the 3rd round. It depends on what pick of the draft that you have. And you'll get a massive value out of it. The running back position is very scarce. Like I just said, 7th in running back fantasy points in his 11 full weeks last year. He's shown us. Now, Saquon. Go ahead, Mike. I want to hear why you didn't have Saquon on your list.
I'm just out on him. I don't know how. Number one, I don't know how healthy he is. Number two, that offensive line blows. Number three, Daniel Jones doesn't dump the ball off to him.
And he blows too.
Yeah, he's terrible too. And the thing is,
Facts.
in 2019, he finished as the 10th overall running back with Daniel Jones in his first year. 2020, he tore his ACL. And now he's coming off that injury. They didn't play him in the preseason. Now, granted, he is that caliber player where
He don't need to play.
he don't need to play. However, they were saying at one point though they didn't know if he was going to be ready for the start of the season.
I still don't know that for a
Yeah,
fact. Actually,
so-
that's in my notes. I don't know if he's going to be available week 1, and I don't know if he's going to get a usual workload.
Correct. So that was my next point. I don't know if he's going to get 20 touches. They signed. They have
Booker.
Devontae Booker, Corey Clement. So they do have a plethora of running backs back there now. So I'm not sure that, like, to me, I'm not touching him at all.
That's a plethora of ghosts.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch him. Facts.
Shout out Corey Clement, 2017 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's been a nobody since.
I'm totally off Saquon Barkley this year. Like, totally. Somebody's going to overspend for him.
I'm in agreement with you as far as the points you made. Nick, you too, right? You would say?
Oh yeah, everything. I'll be honest. I kind of like hesitated to put him in my top 10. I actually do like James Robinson.
I do too.
I think he's got a lot, and Gibson. So I'm high on them, but it's Saquon. He has like that home run ability where he can get like a 68, yard touchdown. And then that's how he produces his top fantasy production.
The thing is now, though,
Massive upside.
how much does he have in his legs?
I mean,
Does he have that breakaway though
He's
on
still
that knee?
young. Like, it's
Yeah,
only,
no.
his
I'm not saying it
fourth
like
year.
that. I'm saying though, is the knee healthy enough for him to put his foot in the ground and take off like he was accustomed to 2 years ago?
Well, I think that's why the Giants are kind of taking their time with him to come back.
Yeah.
So they want to make sure that he's okay.
There's some risk involved, and the offensive line's trash. Okay.
They're terrible.
They at least have some help at wide receiver that should take some attention off him, assuming the quarterback can actually get him the ball.
Evan Ingram's hurt.
Evan Ingram's always hurt.
Yeah,
They got Kyle
Kenny
Rudolph.
Golladay.
I proceed thinking Kyle Rudolph's going to be the tight end 1. That's how I'm going to proceed, because Evan Ingram will probably miss half the season.
So will Golladay.
And Golladay, yeah, he's always hurt. It's a shame. I love him, but I will say this. Giants ranked 23rd in yards per rush before first contact last season. And in his 2 games last year, Saquon only had 34 rushing yards. So there's some red flags.
I think he had like 15 carries for 9 yards in week 1 against the Steelers.
Yeah, he averaged like 0.7 yards per carry or something.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
My reason for including him is simply based off of talent. I mean, this is a guy that was generally going top 3, actually top 2 in drafts last year. And it's for a reason. He's a stud. He easily has the talent to be the best running back in the NFL. But the red flags are the injuries, and his team just sucks.
I agree.
But he will be involved as a pass catcher, so that does matter.
I don't know if he will though.
He will. He will.
I don't know. That worries me too because Jones hasn't shown that he's willing to dump the ball off.
That's not just on him though. That's play calling too. They got to get the ball into their best playmakers' hands. So, I mean, we'll see. It's definitely risky. I mean, even when I read my list, I said I don't love him at 9, but you have to acknowledge the upside. You have to. Like, if you wind up getting him, if he slides into the 2nd round, I mean, you kind of got to take him.
So you had Kamara 3rd, and where did you have Kamara?
I have Kamara 5th. However, if I'm in the 2nd round and I have my choice between Saquon Barkley and James Robinson, I'm taking James Robinson and not even thinking twice.
I mean, well, listen, I disagree. I had James Robinson. I was actually one of those guys. Shout out to myself. I'm going to pat myself on the back.
Well, listen.
I
Listen up.
I actually picked him up as an undrafted free agent after all 4 of my drafts last year, and I happened to have Saquon in one league, and James Robinson saved my season in that league. He was a top 5 running back for most of the season. I believe he was 5th in fantasy points per game. So
He finished 7th last year.
I
dude,
mean, he's a stud.
with Phil playing quarterback.
But listen, it's a different offensive system. He will definitely have a workhorse role, and he is a good player.
He was phenomenal last year.
I could see him sneaking in. Don't get me wrong. I just think the Jags aren't good enough. It's kind of a similar situation where I'm going to take the guy who's just way more talented. And that's not even a slight to James Robinson. I'm a huge fan.
So my thing is on that is, do you think that Daniel Jones is that much better than Trevor Lawrence right now?
No. Oh, my God. I'd take Trevor Lawrence in a heartbeat.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. I trust Trevor Lawrence to get James Robinson the ball, whether it's a dump off. I think he's a better player, and I think he's smarter.
But we just can't be sure what his workload is going to be because it's a new scheme. It's a whole new system, new coaching staff. I mean, he definitely, at the end of the season, he wore down. I remember this. I had him and knew intimately what was going on. And he definitely wore down towards the end of the year. He was getting way too many touches. So I expect that he'll be the workhorse guy, but they're going to relieve him a little bit earlier in the season.
With who? Carlos Hyde?
Yeah, Carlos Hyde actually has been getting a lot of work with him this preseason. And unfortunately, he's the type of guy who's going to piss you the fuck off. He's going to come in there and steal touchdowns here and there because he's not bad. He still could play a little bit, but I can assure you he's going to be eaten into that workload.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really like James Robinson this year. I really do. He almost cracked my top 10. Honestly, I was kind of like teetering between him and Saquon. So I mean, I can't disagree.
Well, you remember we were just talking about this. We were talking about Travis Etienne's.
Oh
you
yeah,
can't ignore.
Of course. Well,
that
factored into it.
That injury was the reason that I put him up
there. That injury would
Yeah.
be the only reason, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, he's out for the season, so
He's the guy. You know
he's
what
the
I
guy.
mean? Yeah.
And he proved last year, in my opinion, that he can do it.
Oh, he's good. He's a good player. Like that wasn't a false act right there. He was actually good. He's got
1,000 yards
great,
rushing.
He's got great vision too. He's one of those guys who just gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him this year. I really do.
So, Alvin Kamara though, you had who had him at,
I brought that back. So
I had him at 5.
You had him 5. You had him 3.
I have him 3.
I have him 6.
So
I have a
struggled.
reason for it.
Yeah, I struggled with this.
I want to know why you guys are a little down on him.
Okay.
Sure.
He was the number 1 running back last
I could tell you how it happened.
Yeah. My issue with Kamara is I think that team stinks. And I think he's the only player you have to be nervous about right now. So my thing is if you have the entire defense looking at one person, and now instead of Drew Brees back there, you have Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill, you only have to focus on one player. I think he has bust written on him. I'm not saying that he's going to be trash. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't know.
In comparison to where he's getting drafted.
Yes.
Correct. I don't like if you were to take him 3rd overall or 4th overall, like to me, you're asking for a problem.
Because I'll tell you what, I mean, what do you have? He had how many touchdowns last year? Hold on. He had 21 total touchdowns last year, about 1,700 total yards, roughly. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that going down a little bit, but I think that Jameis winning that job actually helps his cause.
It did because he could throw the ball at least.
Correct. And then Taysom Hill will be on the field as a playmaker. And Marquez Callaway actually looks pretty good right now. However, though, we don't know at the moment when Michael Thomas is going to be back. Whereas we're under the assumption he's going to miss 6-7 games due to the PUP list, but that's not been proven to be true yet. They have not announced that. He could very well return week 1, or they could decide not to have him on the PUP list and he comes back like week 2 or 3. Suddenly you're talking about a guy who might be a fantasy value too, because he's going like round 9-10 right now. Just throwing that out there.
So,
But I trust Sean Payton.
I like that there is no Michael Thomas.
Fuck him.
Right? So he is the only guy. I do like that. However, in 8 games without Drew Brees, you want to hear the stats?
There was a drop-off. Go ahead.
110 carries, 468 rushing yards, 4.3 yards per carry, 4 TDs, 44 targets, 35 catches, 240 yards and 1 touchdown in 8 games. Now, I don't see top 5 here without Drew Brees. But you guys think...
Keep in mind, though, he was playing hurt for a number of weeks, and also they relieved him with Latavius Murray during those weeks.
Lat Pasillo.
Well, that's cool. I just don't think he's a top 5 guy, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like,
He's been there how many years in a row now? I mean...
Oh, yeah, no.
He's a stud.
He's a stud. No, he's going to get fantasy points. But like what Mike said, he's got fantasy bust written all over him with, getting drafted 3, 4-ish.
Like if I'm in a snake draft, and
Yeah.
I have the 4th overall pick, I'm struggling to take him if I see him sitting there.
It's kind of tough in general after the top 2 this year. Just going to throw that out there. Like, CMC and Dalvin Cook are hands down the top 2 picks, in my opinion. Non-PPR, you can consider Derrick Henry there at number 2. But, I mean, Dalvin Cook, top 2 in touches, scrimmage yards, and TDs last year. I feel that's very safe at number 2.
Yeah.
And I'm not so sure I want to take Derrick Henry that high in PPR. I'm really not sure, but
it's honestly, it's just his receiving production is what kills him.
he never had 20 catches in a season yet.
No.
As much as I want to, say it'll be true, it just hasn't happened. 91.5% of his production has come via rushing.
Yeah.
91.5%.
I know.
And I already am on record. I think he's going to fall short of 2K yards. I think you said he will get it.
I think he will.
Mike
Rushing?
wasn't here. Mike, you think he'll get 2,000 yards
Who?
again? Derrick Henry, rushing.
No, not
There
rushing.
is 17 games, so
Yeah, no, not rushing. No, because I think they're going to be throwing a little bit more. I mean, you have 2 stud wide receivers now. So
I think it helps him out.
However, the counter argument to that is there's not going to be anybody stacked in there, so he could be barreling through. He could be running through the line and it be wide open for him.
he'll have insane efficiency, I think.
Yes.
But this is why I say, like, if the catches aren't there, though, I don't see how I could put him number 2 over Dalvin Cook. And then Christian McCaffrey, there's actually some people out there that are, like, hesitant taking him number 1.
Yeah, they need to stop smoking wet.
So I got a little note for them, too. In 3 games last season, and this is an even more running back friendly scheme than the one he was in before. He averaged 30.1 fantasy points per game in his 3 games last year. 21 plus fantasy points in 17 of 19 games since 2019. He's an absolute stud. And he's in a more running back friendly scheme than he was in 2019. I mean, he had something like, 75 plus points over the guy who was number 2. It might have been over 100 in that season. So you're just banking on health, really. Right?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I feel safer taking Jonathan Taylor over Alvin Kamara and even Nick Chubb. Honestly.
Actually, it's good to talk about him, too.
I have
because
Jonathan Taylor.
You guys both have Jonathan Taylor in your top 5.
He's number 4 for me. And I think
And I have him 6.
their offensive line is top 5 in the league.
Mm-hmm.
He had 1,100 rushing yards as a rookie last year and double-digit touchdowns. He's only going to get better. Now they actually have a quarterback that can throw if he's healthy.
Well,
That's another story.
he
but
is
he's on the COVID
yeah.
list. Yeah, I know. It's another list he's on.
Are we
so-
going to be dealing with this all
This
year?
dude is he's snake bitten.
Yeah, I know.
He's just stressing me out.
He's
right
just
now.
regular. He's regular.
It is
Let's call it
regular,
what it
Sal.
is.
It's so
He's always
regular.
on a fucking injury list. He's always on something. But anyways, if he is in play, I see Jonathan Taylor having a great year once again. And I think he's going to do better than he did last year.
Yep.
I think so too, because it took him a while to finally adjust to the NFL game.
Yeah.
And Wentz will get him the ball.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, here, over the final 6 games last year, he averaged 24 fantasy points per game and 22 touches per game. He was a workhorse at the end of the year. I believe he actually led the league in rushing in the last 4 weeks of the season. But, I mean, finishing 3rd in rushing yards as a rookie, the sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
No, I agree. And then the strength of schedule is easiest in the league for him. So I look, he could actually finish better than Henry, which would be crazy. But I like him
can
at
see it,
4. I
'cause
like him
he'll
at 4.
He'll have some catches. I mean, I don't know what.
And I love
think
Nick
he'll be in
Chubb.
like the 40-50 range.
I love Nick Chubb. The problem with him is Kareem Hunt.
So
that is my only issue with him.
I'm about
He
to
would be-
disagree. I love debunking this fucking myth. I love it. I've been doing it for years.
But he would also be top 3 if he didn't have Kareem Hunt.
So I had him
And that's
initially.
no bullshit.
Initially, I had Chubbs at number 4 and Jonathan Taylor at 6, and I switched it because Kareem Hunt gets burned, and I don't like it, dude. It's
Let me just tell you guys
Gets
something.
burned.
he gets burned. I'm trying to burn too, but he gets burned.
Listen, like every team, just about every team has a change of pace back who gets 10, 12 touches a game. He's just a really good one, that's all. He's getting 10, 12 touches, and unfortunately, there were some situations where he took the ball at the goal line because Nick Chubb got him there, for the record. Might have ran out of gas.
That's my
but
point.
I'm going to tell you guys a little something about Nick Chubb because this is my guy, okay? First of all, top 12 running back in fantasy points per game the last 2 seasons. there's only 3 running backs who had more fantasy points in Nick Chubb's 11 full games with Kareem Hunt. Did you hear that? Did you just hear what I said? I'm going to repeat it again.
Mm-hmm.
There were only 3 running backs who had more fantasy points in Nick Chubb's 11 full games with Kareem Hunt last year. There were only 3 who had more. He was a top 5 back in his 11 full games last year. I mean, he finished as running back 11 despite missing a whole month of the season.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he's awesome. Like,
he finished as running back 11. But
Yeah,
like
I'm
I
not
just said,
taking
he was a
anything
top-
away from him.
He was
I'm
a
just
top
saying.
4 back with Hunt in the lineup.
I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying the mere presence of Kareem Hunt just worries me.
He's a clear workhorse. He's getting 25 to 30 touches a game. I'm debunking that shit. That guy literally put my team on his back.
Did it
Well,
for Spanos.
the only thing with him is that his receiving as well. Because Kareem Hunt gets the bulk of the receiving.
You ready for that too?
So if it's a PPR, then I like, Jonathan Taylor.
I got something for you there too. Last 4 games of the season, 4 targets per game. Last 4 games of the season, they started using him more as a pass catcher, and he was very good in that role too. I expect more. He's a playmaker. I mean, and also we don't know for a fact that they were trying to ease him in when he came back from the injury. I mean, there was a chance he was going to miss the season.
Yeah.
So nobody knew that, but I mean, as far as talent goes, he could be the best running back in the league right now.
I love Chubb, dude.
He could be the best right now.
I'm a big fan
Like
of him.
career
Yeah, I love
5.23 yards per carry, 2.28 yards after the catch, ranks 2nd among qualified running backs. He's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet on the talent, and the role's there. It's what the media wants you to believe, that he doesn't have it to himself, which he does. Kareem Hunt's just a glorified. He's the best change of pace running back in the league.
He could start on a few teams.
He could. He's probably
Yeah.
starting on half the teams in the league, 3/4.
He would start for the Eagles.
This guy was a top 5 running back a few years ago.
I know.
Yeah, but last year he had 19 targets.
Imagine if the Chiefs still had him.
But Chubb had
Look out.
Chubb had 19 targets last year.
That can't be true. That can't be true.
You sure?
Yeah, that can't be true. There's no way.
Check it out.
I see.
I could be wrong, but I thought he had 19 targets.
So I guess they all came at the end of the season. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so-
16 receptions, 19
How
targets.
many Kareem Hunt have?
So 19 targets, right? So that's
Which
why I
means
was
he
looking
has-
at it.
But he had 16 targets
But that's
in his last 4 games when he was finally full cylinders, like full steam ahead, when this team was making their surge.
Yeah, so, and Kareem Hunt had 54. That's what scares me. If we're talking about PPR, I like my running back to actually catch the football.
I mean, I'm encouraged.
That's
by,
a PPR back.
I'm encouraged by the usage at the last 4 weeks of the season as a pass catcher. That's big. 4 targets per game, and that's 4 straight games. His coach realized, I got to get the ball into his hands. And also, the offensive line was injured last year.
Yeah.
But this year, though, they're not. I mean, this offensive line is easily top 3 to 5.
They should be better than last year,
They
too.
could be the best offensive line in football. I mean, they're right up there. So, I'm pounding the table for my guy. That's my guy.
I love Nick Chubb.
My team name.
Top 5, no debate.
Full Chubb. All 4 of my teams. That's fine. You want to let him slip to the second round? I'll get him again. Every fucking league. Every year.
I agree. I got him in my top 5,
If any
man.
of my league mates have, if they're paying attention right now, they will agree that I have Nick Chubb and Chris Carson as my running backs 2 and 3, literally every year the last 3 years.
You ever win in the last 3 years?
Yeah.
All right.
Of course.
Just making sure.
I make a lot of money doing this.
Just making sure.
I may not get I don't get the rings every year, but I make a lot of money on this. Why else would I be in 4 leagues? I'm a
Oh my
fucking father.
God.
Like, I don't got time for this shit. You know?
So what do you guys think of Zeke's production this year? Let's go around.
I think he's going to be all right this year. I like him this year. I really do. I definitely think he's a top 10. Obviously, I had him in there. But I think Zeke's going to be really good this year.
It's kind of the same as the Saquon situation, except that he actually has a quarterback, 1. 2, the only difference between him and Saquon is that Zeke has just been racking up touches. Like, honestly, if I was comfortable with what I saw from him last year, I'd put him top 5. That's where he belongs generally. But I'm a little worried about his durability. I know that he's been playing games, but he just didn't look good last year. He didn't look good. period. I will say this, though. In the 4 full games with Dak last year, he was a top 5 running back. So I expect, like, if Dak's in the lineup, Zeke is plug and play. You don't worry about him. He's a first-round running back. But, I mean, I have to point out, though, he's had an NFL high 1,032 touches over the last 3 seasons. He's only one of 2 running backs with over 850 touches in that span. The other guy's name is Derrick Henry, who's just a freak.
He's a god.
But that's something to monitor in the next couple seasons. But I'm just saying, he's had a ton of touches. I wonder when the wheels are going to fall off on the guy.
Yeah, I mean, he is only 26. I think I had Zeke at 7, which I think is a perfect spot for him. Last year he finished 9th, but I think he's going to bounce back a little bit this year. Dallas still has a pretty good offensive line when healthy. They have Dak. They have weapons on the outside. I just think he's perfectly at 7. Like I don't see him top 5.
The reason I didn't put him top 5 is the same reason I didn't put Dak in my top 10 is because I don't know if he's going to play all year.
Yeah.
I'm still worried about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because, like you said, Zeke and Saquon are kind of like the same player, like almost in the same sense. You know what I mean?
They're both extremely talented studs.
Yeah.
And they're workhorses.
Yeah. So if you had the 8th pick in the draft and you had Zeke and Barkley on the board, who are you taking?
I'm taking Zeke.
I was gonna say, don't get disrespectful.
I literally have him ranked 8th, and I have Saquon ranked 9th, so I'm taking Zeke.
You're taking Zeke? I would take
just a better cast there.
I think it's safer.
But I'm not so sure I would take either of them with that pick, though. I might pivot and go wide receiver because I'm a little skeptical.
Really?
Yeah, it depends. Like I'm not one of those guys. Sometimes I take running backs my first 3 picks.
Well,
I'm a running back hoarder.
Well,
I have like
saying.
6 of them on my team usually.
Well, I'm
legitimately 6 starters.
I'm confused why you said that because like you just said that.
Well, I said I would
running
take,
backs are scarce. So
well,
like obviously, if I had the 8th pick, I'm gonna take a running back.
I generally lean that way. Yes.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, I would consider it.
If like Devontae Adams was on the board, or
if a couple of my other more favorite running backs are off the board that I expect to be there past pick 8, like for instance Aaron Jones, I have him ranked 7th, but I don't think he's going to be drafted that high. If Aaron Jones is there at 8th, and I have Jones, Zeke, and Barkley on the board, I'm taking Jones probably.
I love Aaron.
If we're just talking running backs, but.
Yeah.
Actually, let's talk about Aaron Jones real quick.
I think he's going to have a big year. I was just getting ready to say that, dude. I love the Packers this year.
I don't understand.
Overall,
like,
I really do. I think they're being slept on.
This guy just doesn't get enough love every year.
Or Aaron Jones has been slept on. I don't get it.
He really, like, hashtag free Aaron Jones. Matthew Berry's been saying it for years.
And didn't he get his contract this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got paid. I mean, he's an integral part to that team. A.J. Dillon, sure, he's going to get some touches, but it's the same thing.
We could roll right into the Packers talk with this.
I mean, he's probably the last guy.
That's my concern with
That's
Aaron
the last
Jones.
guy we're touching on, right?
That was my concern with Aaron Jones is A.J. Dillon stealing some production. But Aaron Jones finished, 2nd in 2019, and last year he finished top 5.
Top 5
Like,
in
he just
consecutive
gets slept
seasons.
on. You know what I mean? And then, like, you have Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback. They have weapons on the outside with Devontae Adams and stuff. So, and they have Tunyon. So, I mean, it could open things up for him. But, like, I think at 8, I think that's a pretty good number.
And I got him at 7.
Yeah.
Reason is the kid's just a stud, and he's involved as a pass catcher. But over 5.4 yards per carry in 3 of the last 4 years.
Yeah.
He's 2nd in the NFL with his career best yards after the catch. He's 2nd in the NFL. So he's electric.
Efficiency.
He's really good, and he's had no lower than 15th in carries and 12th in targets. So the last 2 years, I mean. So he's very active. I mean, Jamal Williams always got a nice chunk of work for as long as he was a Packer. It didn't seem to bother Aaron Jones one bit. As long as he's healthy, he's a stud.
Yeah.
So that's where I stand.
I agree.
Mike, where'd you have him?
I had him at 7th. No, 8th. I'm sorry.
So we all 3 have him in that 7-8 range. I got him 7th.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I mean, were there any guys that... So, Mike, you didn't have Saquon on your top 10.
I'm actually shocked that you had him that low and you had him that low. I thought I was going to be way on an island with that.
I mean, look, we're close. I got him 9th.
I got
He
him
almost
10th.
fell off the list.
Yeah.
I was tempted.
He was on the cliff for me, so.
He was close. Oh, you got Austin Eckler there.
yeah.
See, the problem with me
Austin Eckler, dude, is
He can
a
play.
fucking beast.
Yeah.
He can play, but I'm just not sure he'll be out there. He's just a diminutive guy. Like, he's a small guy.
Don't sleep.
He's good. You both had him top 10. This is PPR, so if he's on the field, he probably should finish top 10. But
Dude,
that's the
Nick
thing.
put out that stat 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
63 targets in 8 games.
With Herbert at quarterback, I mean,
That's insane.
Crazy.
I mean,
Crazy
that's
production.
the
That's 2
thing, is,
players.
like,
yeah.
when he's out there, he's awesome. He's a great player, but he's just so small. And I have seen
Pause.
they're gonna have all 3 running backs active. They're gonna be playing, so that's kind of my concern there. That's the only reason. It's just he's just a small guy. I don't think he can handle a workhorse role, but he is a very effective player when he's on the field.
Yeah, I got him at
So I
9.
see why you got him there. I just
Yeah.
think also, like, I see him getting drafted like 9, 10, 11 in some leagues, and in my head, I'm like, how is Nick Chubb not going over him? Like, Nick Chubb is getting drafted. It varies widely. Nick Chubb, like, shouldn't even be in the same sentence as Austin Eckler.
Well, that's a whole different discussion. If
I'm
I
just
had
saying.
Nick Chubb or Austin Eckler, I'm taking Nick Chubb.
But that's the thing, is I'm seeing people take Austin Eckler over guys like Nick Chubb and Jonathan Taylor,
Well, I'm
and
sorry
even
to hear
Aaron
that.
Jones. And I'm like,
Stop
excuse
smoking
me. Like, that's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable. in
I
my
want to play in your leagues where you see that.
They're not in my
wanna
leagues.
play.
Oh
I was
no,
gonna say, yeah. I'll buy in right now.
you gotta follow ADP and just all the shit that you hear on Twitter and whatnot. And I have people coming to me for fantasy advice, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
See,
wow.
look at that, Pops.
Wow.
Oh, we got to spotlight this comment.
Chris
Papa
Carson
Basillo,
is
Chris
my-
Carson's my dark horse. Thank you, Pops.
Last time I played fantasy football with him, he drafted 3 quarterbacks.
Listen.
He drafted Brett Favre, number 4 overall.
And then he drafted Eli Manning.
Listen, we may.
When Favre was on the Jets or something.
That's how we got the Godfather.
Hey, we may disagree about quarterbacks, but my guy right there, he is so right. Dark horse.
We'll see.
Guaranteed.
I seen it last week.
I put on a guarantee. Bold predictions. Chubb, top 5. Guaranteed. Carson, top 10. Guaranteed. I think we touched on everybody, though, right, guys?
Yep.
Yeah,
That was fucking fire.
that was fucking fun.
That was really good. So,
Also, everybody,
Go ahead,
please
Nick.
don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Also, give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, everybody who is listening to the live right now, please share. We would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
share.
Share, share, share.
Phil, you know what to do. We got more football. Let's go, baby. Oh, shit. Oh, my
Smack
God.
that shit
He
up
was
the
in rhythm.
Yeah, that's all.
Good for you. Yo, NFC North. Mike was right. It's a perfect chance to talk about the Packers.
The North.
The Green Bay Packers, your number 1 seed last year. Aaron Rodgers is back. He is back,
He
baby.
is back.
The MVP of the league. I haven't heard anything about Aaron Rodgers the last few weeks. Seems like it's peaceful there, right?
He's focused.
He's focused, yeah. I was going to say that.
Last
He's
dance,
going to be a monster
right?
this year. I know he won MVP last year, but he's going to be a monster, dude.
He could do it again. He really could. But
I like the other 12, but
I-
go ahead.
let's not go there this week. But, I mean, storyline of the offseason was the Aaron Rodgers drama, and it seems to be pretty good right now. Yeah, there we go. John Pasillo says the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
Oh, that was the same field that Brady went there, right? In the NFC Championship game?
Yeah, who won that game?
I forgot. Yeah, that's my bad.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Last time I checked.
Yeah. Who was the leader of that team?
Todd Bowles was the leader of that game.
Todd
Jesus
Bowles.
Christ. You got to go there. I just said let's not go there.
Well, I saw Lambeau Field, and I just reminded myself, oh, wait, Brady went there last year and took care of business.
Brady
bad.
loves the winter.
He loves it.
He loves it.
His mind don't slow down. That's the best quote ever, dude.
All right, let's get into it, man. Let's talk about it.
I'll just read off some storylines
talk
for the
about it.
people. For
Let's
the
talk
people,
about
okay? Yeah, there you go. All right. Same skill players minus Jamal Williams. Everybody's back. Notable changes on the offensive line, though. No more Corey Linsley at center. that probably pissed Aaron Rodgers off. That was one thing that probably pissed him the fuck off. Brian Bulaga, no longer a right tackle. So those are two guys who have been Packers for a long time.
Yep.
And they're Aaron Rodgers guys. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's why he was so pissed off this offseason. Like, those are guys. I mean, at least Corey Linsley. You got to bring back Corey Linsley.
At least your center.
You
you
have
put
to.
your fucking fingers up in his ass every
You
play.
have
So,
to.
I mean, what the fuck?
Come on, he's been feeling it.
There's got to be some comfort there.
He's been feeling the underside of his nuts for fucking years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's been farting on
At
his
least
hands
keep
to
it,
keep
guy.
him warm for years in that frozen tundra.
Yeah, that's real shit.
There you go. That's the episode title, The Underside of His Nuts. Oh, my God. Oh, snap out of it. All right. Aaron Jones got the extension, further proving his worth. A.J. Dillon gets an expected bump as RB2. I mean, this is something small, but I saw Devin Funchess went on the IR, and I was just like, he always sucked. But
Yeah. You can gloss over
overrated.
that one.
So the guys they got Aaron Rodgers, they got Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, Devontae Adams, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Jeez, just say MVS.
Valdez.
Look, he threw me off. Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb is back. Randall Cobb is back.
Oh.
Sound the alarm.
Stinks.
He sucks. He sucks, guys.
Stinks.
He really does.
Sound the
But-
alarm for Randall Cobb.
Sound the alarm because I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is seeing there. But hey, he's happy. And then you got big Bob Tunyon. So, let's preview this team. What do you think? I mean, are they going to be the number one seed? You're going to say no. Are they going to be competing for the number one seed again?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, this team is pretty much back to what they were last year. I think they're going to be hungry and motivated to get back to where they were. I don't think it's going to work because that dude is in Tampa. So, but no, I mean, they're definitely a Super Bowl caliber team, and I could definitely see Aaron Rodgers having another MVP season. Their defense is meh, it's okay for me. Like, I think Green Bay's defense is what's going to hinder them from going to the Super Bowl overall. And as far as fantasy production, I mean, you have Devontae Adams, stud. We just talked about Aaron Jones, stud. Tunyon, he could be somebody you can
Good
kind
player.
of draft.
He was reliable.
I had him
Absolutely.
10th overall for.
I think I had him 9th.
10th for a tight end.
So, yeah, I mean, he won't have 11 touchdowns in all likelihood, but he's good.
Yeah,
Big target.
Exactly. I just they're back. You know what I mean? Like,
They'll be competing for the one seed.
Yeah,
That's my
nothing
opinion.
changed with them. So for me, like, I could definitely see them getting back to where they were.
You got certified studs there at the skill positions, and you got the MVP coming back.
Yeah, I think the offensive line is kind of concerning because continuity really matters with the offensive line, But again, you have Aaron Rodgers. He's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. He's been there for 17, 18 years. So, look, I think Green Bay is going to be a top 1-2 seed in the NFC, and I got them going 12-5.
To your point about the line, also, David Bakhtiari has not been healthy, and I'm not so sure I think he's been back, but he was coming off injury too. So, one of the best left tackles in the league. Oh, my God.
Yep.
Potential title. Oh, my God.
Slob on my cob. I love that. That is a potential title right there. Slob on my cob. I like that.
Oh, my God.
He really is psychotic.
ass.
Psychotic and iconic.
That's where you get it from.
Yes.
Freak ass.
That's where you get it from. Pops is always
Yeah.
on point, though. Jesus Christ. That just caught my eye. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
All right, so to get back on track with the Packers, I also think they're going to be fighting for. I think they're going to be fighting for the second seed. I don't think they're better than the Buccaneers. I think the Bucs are the clear-cut number one. One thing that interests me though with Aaron Rodgers this year, if he has more control at the line of scrimmage, I think that offense could get even better.
I agree.
So like if he part of him when he was negotiating coming back, if he was saying like when I get up to the line of scrimmage, if I see something I don't like, I want to be able to audible out of it.
Or, hey, maybe go for it on fourth
Yeah, I was
down
just
instead
saying.
of attempting a fucking field goal against Tom Brady and the Bucs.
Exactly, but
Something like that. A
and-
little audible there.
yeah, and they're a high-powered offense.
Come on, man. What the hell is that shit? Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
It's okay. I was finished anyway.
Oh.
But that's all I was really saying with that.
You've been finished.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, there's nothing really to say about them. It's the Packers and then everybody else in that division. That division's
Do you
garbage.
guys think that they'll be back in the NFC Championship game? Just, I mean, early thoughts, because we are going to talk about that. We're going to talk about like the overall playoff picture in the first episode of the regular season.
They'll definitely be competing for it, but I'm not ready to say they're definitively going back there. There's only one team in the NFC that's going back to that game, for sure.
I agree. The Tampa Bay Bucks.
It's really too early because the NFC West is loaded.
Yeah.
With the Rams, Seahawks. I mean, you got to win the division.
Got to see how the seedings unfold too, which is something we'll talk about. We're gonna get there,
Niners.
but
Yeah.
they'll be in contention for that NFC Championship game. They could represent.
You know the
Super Bowl.
Seahawks ain't going to be there.
Yo, come on, man.
I'll say this: divisional round at worst.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they have enough to be a Super Bowl contender. They just got to get past 12. The
Yeah.
other 12,
Not going to happen.
probably not. All right, that's enough of the Packers. That's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, they're awesome. All right, Chicago Bears. Things get interesting here. All right, Chicago Bears. They were 8-8 last year. They just narrowly missed the playoffs. Oh no, they got in. Excuse me. What the hell am I talking about?
Sour.
I guess so. The QB battle. So, yeah, I mean, I was thinking of Andy Dalton, and it threw me off. Jesus Christ. The QB battle is the storyline, though. Justin Fields versus Andy Dalton. You got Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace are both on the hot seat. All right? You got Tariq Cohen returning from injury. You got Anthony Miller was traded. Little small something there. Maybe opens the door for Darnell Mooney to play a little bit more.
I like him this year, dude.
I like him a lot, too. They signed Jason Peters,
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
which actually might matter
False
because
start.
Yeah. He broke his foot getting out of bed.
hey, the reason I say that though, it might matter because the biggest storyline might be that no one's talking about this. Their draft pick, Tevin Jenkins, supposed to solve their tackle issues over the years. All right, he had back surgery and might be out for the year. This offensive line is deeply concerning. Always
Agreed.
has been.
Yeah.
So
And for some reason, they're starting Andy Dalton, which makes no sense.
No,
yeah,
that
he's gonna get his ass
no,
whooped on
that
that line.
makes sense to me.
Really?
If they have a shit offensive line, fuck yeah. I don't want my rookie quarterback getting pummeled back there.
He's got escapability at least.
That's cool. Let Andy Dalton take the fucking beating.
Listen, I've
not
seen
my
it.
fucking
I've seen
rookie
enough.
quarterback.
The
Fuck
kid
it.
can play. Start Justin Fields.
It's not worth it.
Just start him because you want to know why? Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace are going to lose their jobs if not. You got to start the kid and see what
I
he
really
can do.
don't understand why Nagy would be on the hot seat. He was making the playoffs with Mitchell
listen.
Trubisky.
I know. I
Listen,
agree with you, Mike.
I
Two
agree.
out of
I
3
agree
years.
with you.
I think he's a great coach, but this is how it's being portrayed. And
This is the NFL.
yeah,
That's the bottom line.
it's a results league.
It's a business.
But he's had the
He
results.
has the results.
That's why it's stunning.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
So I want to see the kid play. And I'm gonna say this about Mr. Allen Robinson, who, I mean, we're gonna talk about receivers next show. We're gonna have our top 10 receivers, which should be equally as fucking fire. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little less fire, but it's gonna be
We'll see.
fucking fire. I mean, I don't know.
With this group, dude, I expect nothing.
Yeah, I mean, if Allen Robinson has Justin Fields, though, I mean, sky's the limit there too. He's always fringe top 10. So fantasy perspective, I mean, I love drafting him every year because he's a target hog. And a red zone target hog. But, so Allen Robinson's back. He's on the franchise tag. And he's going to be playing for that money. One of the best receivers in the league. Darnell Mooney. So one of those guys that could be ascending as one of the league's premier deep threats. He's the wide receiver too. You guys like him, right?
I
Sleeper.
like him a lot. I think he's a sleeper, for sure.
I mean, and I've seen him going later than he should in drafts so far. ADP-wise, I think he's going really late. And this is another thing where if Justin Fields is the
He
quarterback
can extend the play.
and he can throw downfield,
Yep.
I mean, no shade to Andy Dalton. He's probably a pretty good backup at this point.
Did you see the throw Justin Fields made to the tight end
Awesome.
in like triple coverage?
Threaded the needle, and that was his last pass of the preseason. It was a touchdown, right? That's the one you're talking
Yeah,
about?
and I'm saying,
Corner
how do you
end
not?
zone?
How do you look at that and go, you know what? Yeah, let's start Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton's last throw of the preseason was a blatant pick to a linebacker. Threw it right into his hands.
Fucking gingers.
Jeez.
No disrespect to any gingers
Come
out
on
there.
now.
I love gingers. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Today's world, I gotta be careful with that. I
You just
apologize.
made a Carson Wentz. I understand. He didn't
I
mean
would be
that.
too, honestly.
He didn't mean that, guys. Tariq Cohen, though, do you think he can rebound and be a productive fantasy asset in PPR at least?
It's hard to judge him for me, dude, because like David Montgomery gets so many touches per game, and he stinks.
But isn't it because of the running back injuries though? Like honestly, I think that's why it happened, because he was losing work to Mike Davis, literally. I mean, I don't think he's any good either. I mean, he had some good weeks last year, mostly volume driven in fantasy though.
But going back to what you were just saying, Justin Fields, I would take a chance on Tariq Cohen late. Andy Dalton, I could live without.
But
him.
Andy Dalton is a check down king.
All right, fair point.
I got
fair
I got
point.
no interest in any Bears running backs.
I don't either.
The only player that I would have interest in the Bears would be Allen Robinson. It doesn't matter whose
And
quarterback
Darnell
is.
Mooney,
Yeah,
to a degree.
there's a lot of wide receivers.
A late round pick.
Yeah,
like one of
but-
those guys at the very end of your bench that could be like, oh, he could be a Deshaun Jackson type where he blows up some weeks. He could be better than that. You don't even know. But
Possibly. I don't know. I kind of look consistency, so I don't know how consistent he could be on the week-to-week basis. But Allen Robinson's awesome. It doesn't matter who his quarterback is. Trubisky, he's always a top 5, top 10 fantasy option at wide receiver, regardless of the quarterback
Stud.
play. Yeah, he's just awesome. That's the only player that I would be interested in Chicago.
so you guys don't have interest in Justin Fields as a late round pick, like towards the end of your draft, as a backup quarterback.
I think he would be awesome in a keeper league.
I kind of feel tempted to take him at the end of my draft. He could be one of those league winner types. I mean, he could ascend into the top 10 very easily. He has a path to do it if he plays.
I'm not sold on him yet. I got to see more than preseason, man. I look,
That doesn't mean I'm
preseason's
sold.
cool. I get it. It's cool. But it's preseason. You know what I mean? Like,
don't mean
it's
I'm
gonna
sold.
be it's gonna be much faster. Like, teams are actually going to game plan against you.
I just
It ain't
think-
gonna be this fucking vanilla defense they're playing. They're gonna be actually playing.
I think he's a good player, though. He's proven it everywhere he's been. He just kind of got like some shade because he's got a learning disability.
I'm not saying
You know?
he's not talented. He's very talented. He's drafted where he's at because of his talent. But I'm just saying, like, it's
Should've
just
been higher.
preseason. Like, we gotta just take a chill pill, relax, and we'll have to watch it during the regular season. That's where you make your money.
I just think he's
not
better than
preseason.
Andy Dalton. That's all.
Oh yeah. No.
Like
well,
he should be playing. And
You're better
if
than
he's
Andy Dalton.
I know.
like
And if he's playing though, he's going to put up fantasy numbers. Like, listen, I'm not sold on Jalen Hurts either, but I had him top 10. You gotta acknowledge the rushing production that could come there, and he's a downfield thrower. You know,
yeah. I mean,
I would take a flyer on him late rounds as a backup quarterback. Yeah, he could be winning you games in week 4 on.
it depends on how many bench spots you have, though, too.
That's also true.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to stash a backup quarterback on my team just to, in hopes that he's going to
can't
start
hardly.
today. Yeah, exactly.
Can't
So
do
you
that.
just can't do that. So for me, I wouldn't draft him because he's not starting. But if he was
Yeah.
starting, he might be draftable. If you didn't want to take one of the top, quarterbacks in the draft, you have the last 12 to 15, and if he's there for you, then maybe you take a shot. Why not, right? Like, I don't know. That's where I see Justin Fields.
I just saw something from Pops. Pops is getting excited about the wide receivers. He says, give me your top 10 receivers. I just want to remind everybody that on Friday's show, you will see our top 10 receiver list. And by the way, we will not have a second live stream this week due to scheduling. But starting next week, we're doing 2 live streams, Mondays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. every week, right before Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football.
Pawn your head tops.
All right? I just want to remind the audience of that one more time. All right? They said boo. Damn. Oh, ouch. Anyway.
Keep that same energy.
One other thing, though. Cole Kmet, keep an eye. He's a talented tight end, but we'll have to see how much Jimmy Graham eats into his production.
Yeah.
The aging corpse of Jimmy Graham still out there catching touchdowns.
One-handed touchdowns, that is.
Jeez.
Yeah, there was a couple snacks he had last year. I was surprised.
Are the Bears a playoff team, guys? Not to
Are they
cut you
playoff
off,
team?
Nick.
No. We can move on. They're not a playoff team.
I don't think so either.
No.
But it would be interesting if Fields is starting week 1. Then I'd say they might be in the conversation for that final wild card.
No.
It all depends, though. We'll get there. Minnesota Vikings. I mean,
That's
That's exactly the reaction that I had. Like, literally silent.
like, competitive
Trash.
team. They were 7-9 last year. They're like kind of that 500-ish football team. The defense isn't as good as it has been in previous years. So they got Patrick Peterson. That should help. They brought back Everson Griffin. That should help a little bit. On the offensive side of the ball, that's clearly the bread and butter. You got Justin Jefferson, major breakout last year.
Yeah.
Major. Okay? You got Adam Thielen still. You got Dalvin Cook. Fantastic. We don't even have to cover that, honestly. You had Irv Smith, but now he's out extended time. So now we don't need to talk about tight end here. So I feel like this is pretty straightforward. Kirk Cousins, we're not using him unless it's in a pinch. He's had moments where he's been a fantasy quarterback, but I mean, it's Kirk Cousins. He's going to play decent ball.
Stinks.
Overall, stinks.
Yeah, he's like a weird quarterback. Like, he can get 30, and then he can get, like, 9.
He has stretches where he's hot,
yeah.
and then he's just flat out garbage
Right.
right after that.
Absolutely.
It don't make any sense.
But I love his core around him, though, with Thielen, Jefferson, and Cook. I think all three of them are obviously draftable.
Yeah.
The wide receivers could arguably be, 2 of the top 15 in PPR.
It's possible.
They finished 6th and 7th last year.
Thielen,
exactly.
Thielen's still one of those guys.
They're all
like,
crazy.
And Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they got skill.
Yeah, no, the talent's there. The Vikings and stuff, they're on a downhill slope.
I need to see more from that defense before I call them a playoff team. But
And
they're above average.
They got good players on defense. They got Eric Kendricks, Daniil Hunter, Xavier Rhodes, Patrick Peterson, like you said. They have Harrison Smith, who they signed 4 years, $64 million. God bless you.
Appreciate it.
Bless you. And they got Anthony Barr. So they have talent on that defense. It's
At the
just
bar.
putting it together.
They just played like trash last year. That's all.
Yeah.
And I mean, Harrison Smith, for what it's worth, like a good player overall for a number of years. I thought he's on a downturn of his career, and I'm surprised he got that money. He's the second highest paid safety in the league.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he got that money. But
No, I agree with you. But I'm the Vikings to me are just a tough team. They'll be a tough team. They're not going to be a slouch. You know what I mean? You're not going to steamroll over them. But I don't think they're in the playoffs at all. So
I mean, pretty clear cut here. Non-playoff team, but competitive.
yeah, and
right?
I will say this: it would be really interesting if this is Kirk Cousins' last year with the Vikings,
It should be.
and they can get a franchise quarterback. They got the pieces to be real scary.
Yo, keep an eye. I mean, watch. What if it's Brett Favre 2.0?
I swear,
I was just thinking
that.
I was just
Could you
thinking that.
fucking imagine?
I was just
They'd
thinking
be
that.
amazing.
That would be crazy.
That wouldn't even be fair, honestly.
They
It
would
wouldn't
be
be fair.
really good.
They'd be loaded, like straight up.
But I do have to point out their offensive line is kind of trash too. They have to upgrade there. But they do enough to open up holes for Dalvin Cook.
I'll fuck with that.
I mean, I knew what you were thinking, Mike.
Regular.
That's regular for sure.
Patrick Peterson, I'm not so sure if he's going to be a shutdown corner anymore. He might transition to safety in a year, but he's still got something left, a little something.
Yeah, they're gonna be garbage again.
So I mean, what are we thinking? Like, they'll play 500 ball most of the season.
8
maybe,
and 9.
Yeah,
I don't even think they're there.
Well,
because they were there last year.
I'll give them credit for the offensive talent. That's going to be like. I mean, again, it comes down to Kirk Cousins too. I think Kirk Cousins is fucking trash.
I would say 6 or 7 wins.
But he's a streamer in a pinch.
Yeah,
Kirk
exactly.
Cousins is a streamer depending on the matchup. Dalvin Cook, clear cut top 2 pick. We already said that. Alexander Madison, one of the finest handcuffs in the league. God forbid something happens to Cook. He usually misses 1 to 2 games. You're going to want to have him in those games.
Well, going back to that last year when
He actually didn't do really
he
well.
didn't do well
Yeah.
at all.
Very
I
surprising.
was surprised, man. He was like a top 10 play.
'Cause he was
in a
playing
lot of
hurt,
people's-
too.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, talent is there. Well, just throwing it out there, he's one of the better handcuffs if you
I
believe in
agree.
handcuffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Justin Jefferson might be a wide receiver 1. Adam Thielen has a chance to be a wide receiver 1, but likely wide receiver 2 this year. Pretty clear cut.
Yep.
And we'll never know if Irv Smith can play now. Not till possibly later in the year. Because they moved on from Kyle Rudolph finally, and he was going to get his shot to play. And he was productive when he had the job to himself last year. Now we won't see it.
So none of us have him in the playoffs.
No.
Hell no.
All right, I just
No.
making sure here.
No, but they'll compete. They're going to be a tough out every week.
I got to
They're
check
one of
on my
those
guys.
teams.
Yeah,
I got
I'm
to check
here.
on you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking wild.
Yeah.
This one should be a quick one, guys. I mean,
We don't even have to cover them.
the Detroit Lions, they fucking suck again. The poor
Booty. That's what
Detroit
they are.
Lions.
Straight booty.
If they won 3 games, I would be surprised.
Here's
They
their
are
core,
trash.
okay? Let me tell you their wide receiving group. Because it has changed in the last 24 hours. They cut Rashad Perriman. I don't know how they have any business cutting him off their roster. Because
He was like their wide receiver 1 during the season. Well,
They got Tyrell
Tyrell
Williams
Williams, yeah.
now. They got Khalif Raymond as their number 2. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the rookie.
Khalif who?
Khalif Raymond apparently overtook Quentin Cephas. Do you know him? Quintez Cephas, excuse me.
Yeah, Quintez. Yeah.
He overtook him for the number 2 spot.
He said, do you know him?
I don't.
That's my point.
The only name I know on that list besides Tyrell Williams is Geronimo Allison.
Yeah, and he's not going to play. What the hell? And they got TJ Hawkinson, who
Yeah.
we said he should finish in the top 10, even if there's a slight drop off due to volume. They got Jared Goff. Yuck.
Stinks.
Big drop off from Stafford.
God, I mean, DeAndre Swift is a stud. I still think he'll be an RB2. It's a shame. Like, if they had any semblance of a team, let alone offense, I would love to call him like a back-end RB1 this year.
They're
He's
going
got
to
a
be
ton of talent.
Horrible.
And he catches passes, too. It's a shame. So DeAndre Swift's a stud. I would bet on talent there. Maybe, top 20 back. I feel pretty comfortable about that. Maybe top 15 upside just because he's good. So
Swift at top 15?
yeah, I mean, it's possible.
It is
just because he's
possible, but
talented. He's
I
amazing.
doubt it.
It's really a shame.
I'm not going to hold my breath on that, though.
And then you got Jamal Williams there now, sucking the life out of everything as usual. I mean, he's a good guy in a pinch. The biggest headline is just the coaching staff changes and the Stafford trade. I mean, the most entertaining thing about this team besides Swift is Dan Campbell.
I was going to say that. I
love
swear
the
to
guy.
you. I love him, too. Like, his press conferences are fucking gold.
That's it, though.
That's it.
Although I have to point out, though, drafting Penei Sewell, great pick. He's starting at right tackle. They have a pretty decent offensive line. It's not great. They still got Decker. And they got, what's his name? Frank Ragnow
Yeah.
at center. They have a decent offensive line. So that's why I say, like, Swift, I got no problem. I think that his pass catching ability will compensate for the team having to play from behind. But he'll have production, I think.
The only thing they have to look forward to is they're going to get that dude from Oklahoma next year with the first pick. What's his face?
Well, don't forget the Texans. They're the fucking shittiest team in the
Rattler?
league.
Spencer Rattler,
Oh, okay. I'm not really sure who that is, Rattler.
We'll see.
quarterback of the Sooners.
I don't know if I want my franchise quarterback, to be named Rattler. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
not a
It don't
household
sound
name.
like a household name. to me,
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I
like
mean?
Brock Osweiler.
Yeah.
Like I knew he was going to be ass because
Who's
you
your
just know by
quarterback?
that name.
Rattler? Like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here, man. I don't want him. I just don't.
I mean, other than that, they traded for Michael Brockers also from the Rams. That was a good move. We'll see. I mean, maybe Dan Campbell can get them to play competitively, but they're not a good team.
He's weird.
Let's carry on.
He's great.
Right?
He's weird as shit,
fucking
dude.
funny
He's
as hell,
so
though.
weird.
But no, he's funny, though.
There's a comment that says, from John Pasillo, he's the Ted Lasso of the NFL. Nice.
Oh shit! Me and the Brody were on the same page.
What, Spencer Rattler?
I see
Spencer
that.
Rattler.
I don't know nothing. I don't know.
I didn't see that.
Hey, I see that Will Haig noticed my next level hydrogen water again. Hashtag LTNC. Keep an eye out for this product. It had Manny Pacquiao boxing at a high level with a very good boxer 2 weekends ago. Look who's on the can. Look, I'm gonna put
Manny
this
Pac,
out there.
Manny Pac.
Next level hydrogen water. Anyway, he just pointed out. He says, "Where's the Pepsi can?" Well, look, I mean, Phil's got a Coke today. Nick's got a Starbucks, and Mike's got Poland Spring. We're working on it. All right, Will. Anyway, we're done with the NFC North. All right.
Yeah, so I think everybody here is in agreement that only the Packers are going to the playoffs here.
Yes.
Okay.
But keep an eye on the Bears, depending on the QB job. They could be interesting. We'll
Don't
see.
keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
They still have pieces there, Mikey. They were a quarterback away from being a playoff team. If Justin Fields could play, they'll be in the conversation for a wild card. They were 8-8 last year with fucking garbage.
I don't know the NFC.
His name was Mitch Trubisky, and he's a heaping pile of garbage. Yeah, dumpster fire. So we're gonna move on though. We got some cards to talk about.
Baby.
Phil, give me something. Give me something here, Phil.
Pulls up three-pointer.
Oh, fine.
Bang!
Fine.
It's good.
It's always a crowd pleaser.
I'm a pleaser.
So Nick, I mean, Nick, we're gonna have to. Yo, I want you to highlight your experience at the Wildwood Sports Car Show. I hate to cut off the laughing, but we gotta stick to the schedule here.
No cap. No.
Let's do this.
Please, let's do this. Tell me what you did at the show, Nick. Any purchases, sales, trades, any observations that stood out?
Oh my God. So the show was fucking awesome.
Don't give away too much. We got an episode coming. Or we got
We
another
do.
video.
We do.
So kind of just preview it a little bit. Tell us how your experience went, but don't go too deep.
It was awesome. This is fucking
Pause. Pause.
crazy. Hold on. We're just immature little fucking grown adults here,
Man,
laughing about these dirty jokes.
We got Mike turning red over there.
That's hot in here.
There we go.
so
I'm a
yeah.
pleaser. Don't go too deep. Title options. We got a lot of options.
So, all right. So, yeah, overall, the Wildwood Sports Car Show was fucking awesome. Like, I did some trades. I bought, I sold a few items. We're actually going to be dropping a video sometime this week, so be on the lookout for that. But, yeah, my strategy going in, honestly, dude, was actually looking for Michael Porter Jr. PSA 10s. And I actually kind of made a deal on one, so you guys will check it out on the video as well. I'm high on him this year. I really like him, and a lot of people are selling him, and I think that's where you buy. The upside there is phenomenal. So his Prism PSA 10, I think I got it for, like, it was a trade for like $130. But last year, his prices were about $200. So I see a lot of growth in that card, you know, like entering the season. So that's where I was leaning towards. Again, the dollar boxes again, you know what I mean? I bought 14 cards for $12. $12. I can take those 14 cards and make like $60-$70 profit. Right? I mean, it's not a lot to everybody else, but if you enjoy the grind, you take that profit and you put it into something else that you think is going to boom. So that was my play there. And yeah, no, the overall the show was dope, man. Check this out. We saw a 2000 playoff contenders Tom Brady PSA 7.5 autograph.
Ooh.
The autograph was graded a 10, but the overall card was a 7.5. The guy was asking for $500,000.
Damn.
500 bricks.
Wow.
Yo, to see that card in person was fucking awesome. I was the happiest. Phil was like, "Holy shit, I've never seen you so happy." I was like,
Wow.
"Bro, this is like history." Like, we see that card on the news. We've talked about this on the podcast.
Yeah, that
This
one was
card.
the one that went for $800K, right?
Yeah, but I think
The
that
non-number was that the non-number one?
It was a non-number one.
Yeah, that's the exact same one.
did,
Yeah, the
yeah.
non-number one. That went for a couple mil, didn't it?
Well, I think that was.
I might have mixed
PSA
something
10.
up here.
That was the 10 that went for
Right.
a couple mil, but the non-number one went for about 800.
Yeah, 800. I mixed them up because there's so many of them at this point. All Tom Brady cards are worth a fortune.
I mean, look, it's something you don't see all the time. You know what I mean? So like when I saw that, I was like, it felt like I was in a fucking museum. I was like, wow.
And a price tag of $500,000.
This guy has, yeah, he could trade. He could literally just take that card, go up to a fucking homeowner in Wildwood and be like, here you go, you want to trade? That's literally the value. That's literally the value. It's crazy.
Give me that beachfront house with that money.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Sign me up.
that was cool. Yeah, I mean, it was a good experience. I saw the same vendors as I did last time, so I was kind of connecting with them. You know, one of the vendors actually saw me filming the outro of the video, and he asked, what channel we are. So I told him our podcast, and he subscribed. So that was pretty
Nice.
dope. You know what I mean?
You'd like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
Working
It's
on
big
weekends.
facts, yeah. So like usual. Yeah. So no, it was an awesome show. I had a good time. Yeah. I mean, I encourage everybody, to go out there one show. We'll definitely keep you guys in the loop for more shows to come. So.
Well, you're going to tell them one in a second.
Yeah.
But so just to confirm, though, we're going to have this video out there soon.
Yeah. Hopefully by this week. So be on the lookout for that. We'll definitely keep you guys updated. for
Nick's
sure.
purchases, sales,
Yep.
Trades, any observations, it'll all be in this video.
Very good material. Very good material. I have
that-
a lot of conversations with vendors talking about sports cards in itself. So it's
And
definitely a
everyone-
good one.
I mean, everyone loved your first video, which was just, I mean, you weren't giving as much deep insight. You were just like showing everybody what it's like to be at a card show.
Yeah, and then-
this time
and
you really
strategizing.
dove in.
Yeah.
So the people love that video. They're gonna love this one. Then
Yep.
they're gonna love this one.
So I bought, I traded, and I sold. It was just
This
an
time you
overall
were
great
actually making transactions. So
Yep.
stay tuned, guys. We'll announce when that video is live on our YouTube channel. And Nick, I want you to announce real quick. I mean, we've been harping about this Valley Forge Casino Sports Card Show. It's
gonna be
I want
fucking
you
awesome.
to remind the audience when this is.
Yep.
And what's going on there real quick before we move on to the quick hitters.
Yeah, so the Valley Forge Casino Resort Sports Card Show is on September 24th through the 26th. You can get your tickets on their website. I know P&I is going to be there, of course, filming you guys more content. But all the old Eagles are going to be there, McNabb, Fick, even the Phillies. Like I think Mike Schmidt's going to be there. And there's a couple other like old time Phillies that are, big time. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. So, if you guys want to go, just get the tickets online, and then just let us know if you guys are going, because we would love to go out with you guys. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Well, you know what that means. Quick hitters.
Quick hitters.
Phil, give me something. Give me something. You
Let's
can go
do
bang
this.
bang again if you want.
Quickies.
I don't give a fuck.
Pulls up 3-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good. Wins the game at the buzzer.
Always a crowd pleaser.
I'm a pleaser.
So we're gonna try to run through this real.
It's gonna be a while.
Possible
It's
title.
gonna be a while before I get over that.
Oh man, that might have to be the title.
I don't give a fuck, man. Let's
Yo,
rock.
we got a
I'm here to
lot.
pod.
We got a lot of news, guys. We're gonna try to run through this as quick as possible. Try to stay on schedule. First thing, Reese Hoskins out for the season for the Phillies. He's having abdominal surgery. Zach Eflin likely out for the season as well with his recurring knee injury, and he's on the COVID list, I believe, right now. Is the Phillies season over, guys? Just real quick, yes or no?
I'm gonna be honest. They always suck me back in. I went to the Phillies game on Saturday, and they were
losing when you left, or they gave up the game-tying home run.
They gave up the 2-run homer in the 10th, and I was like, I'm out of here. So we dipped out. I'm driving home, and I get an update that the Phillies won 7-6.
They're not
I
good.
was like, fam,
Listen,
I think I'm bad luck, because every time I went to a Phillies game, they fucking lost.
Nick, it's not you, buddy. They are
might
so
be.
bad for our mental health.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of
They're
it.
4.5 back, so I'm not going to quit on them yet because they seem to win the games that we don't expect them to win, and then they go and get swept by the Diamondbacks. So I'm not going to say anything just yet about their fortunes because we all picked them to make it. So stay tuned.
It sucks because I shitted on the Braves.
Their schedule still sucks.
Yeah.
The Braves are hot right now. I mean, little worried there. So we'll see. All right. Next point. Your Philadelphia Eagles trade a conditional 6th-round pick for Gardner Minshew. Minshew Mania's in Philly. Let's go.
I love this move. Let's go.
Let's go.
Great move.
I think it was a great move.
MILF move.
4 weeks. 4 weeks before, if Jalen Hurts has a couple bad weeks before they're calling for Minshew. What is their obsession with backup
They were going to
quarterbacks?
do it with Joe Flacco anyway. Listen, if
It's
you
because
could
they
get-
don't believe in Hurts, bro. That's really what it is.
I know.
I really don't think it's that this time.
Come on.
I think it was because you got former Jags GM Dave Caldwell in the Eagles front office, and you were able to acquire a legitimate, possible starting quarterback for a 6th-round pick. That's what I think it is.
Well, and we
set
had to shore
records.
up the backup.
They're always shoring up the back.
Always.
They're shoring up their fucking
And
fifth string.
the best was saying that we like to develop quarterbacks. We don't develop quarterbacks for shit. Outside of Donovan McNabb, who do we develop?
Oh, excuse me, it's a quarterback factory. Last time I checked.
Dude, this team, man. See what I'm saying? They do shit like this.
Kevin Cobb was a part of that.
Yeah, garbage.
Kevin Cobb.
I wanted to remind
Kevin
everybody. I want to remind everybody that Gardner Minshew, as a rookie, he was the first rookie in NFL history with 230 plus pass yards per game, 20 plus touchdowns, and fewer than 10 interceptions. Like, he can play.
I can make an argument he's the best backup in the league.
You
Gardner?
could.
Gardner Minshew.
I honestly thought somebody was going to maybe trade for him and give him a shot as a starter this year.
I thought it was going to be Dallas.
I've said this to you guys in previous shows.
I thought it was going to be the Cowboys
They should have, but
because Cooper Rush stinks, or Ben DiNucci,
I
or
think Dak low key might have an ego himself.
That ego.
yep.
But I mean,
Listen to he needs to listen to Gary
He
V.
does, dude.
as a rookie though, Gardner Minshew joined Dan Marino and RG3 and Dak Prescott as the only players in NFL history to throw 20-plus touchdowns with 6 or less interceptions as a rookie.
And they all got one thing in common: 0 rings.
Louder.
Well, one's a Hall of Famer and
All
top
loud.
5, and in most people's top 5.
Most people are wrong.
I like the move, Mike. I
love
do. I just think that
Mike loves Prescott too, so I mean,
real quick,
The GOAT.
real quick, I think it kind of. I don't think the Eagles are sold on him. I really don't, because they signed Flacco for $3.5 million, and then all of a sudden he's going to be a third stringer.
they never were
Like,
sold.
it doesn't make any
because
sense to me.
They're still in talks with Deshaun Watson right now.
No, well, Deshaun Watson. Well,
That's another headline actually right now.
Let's just get into it. Yeah.
Deshaun Watson reportedly won't waive his no-trade clause to join the Eagles. The Dolphins are now the favorites to land him. There's legitimately still 4 or 5 teams involved, and they're trying to add pick protections to trade. The Eagles are still going to be in that conversation until this guy gets moved.
Fuck this guy, dude.
I'm just pointing it out there. Listen, it don't
First
mean,
of all,
it don't mean they
who
should go
is
make
he-
a move.
Who is he to say he would not waive his no-trade clause? He stinks.
I mean, it's crazy that this guy actually can leverage his
stinks.
situation right now, given what's going on. He clearly wants to go play for Miami, I think.
I'm telling you, bro.
And if they did get him, Miami's a contender right
He
away.
knows he can't control himself on Race Street. We had this conversation before. There's way too many massage parlors around Philadelphia area for him to be here. He can't do that.
Miami's not a good
Well,
team for him then
Miami,
either.
yeah. He'll be all over the fucking place.
He's getting more than shoulder rubs at Tootsie's.
Oh my God. We don't want to dive too deep in on that, but they did mention the Panthers are one of the teams to keep an eye on there. And the Panthers are, again, like they're right on the cusp of being
I hope they
something.
don't do that to Darnold either. He deserves a fair chance with a competent
I agree.
organization.
Yeah.
We shall see. He's got his shot this year. Next thing, Jameis Winston. We already referenced this. He is the Saints starting quarterback in week 1. Fantasy implications, I'll keep this nice and short for everybody. I think it's a boost for the receiving core, and it's obviously a bust for Taysom Hill's fantasy prospects. He is no longer worthy of consideration. He's going to be a nice weapon for them. But if he does happen to take that role, we already said this last couple shows ago. Taysom Hill has QB1 fantasy implications when he's on the field just because of his rushing production.
Right.
You have to take account of that. So we all agree on that.
Yeah.
The receiving prospects are up with a better, more capable thrower at quarterback.
Agreed.
And this is good for Michael Thomas if he comes back anytime soon.
Slant boy Thomas.
He's going to have a lot of catches, you know? So, next thing, Teddy Bridgewater wins the Broncos starting job. Fantasy implications. I think it's a boost for the rest of the offense and their playoff hopes, which may be slim right now. At least he'll be a stable quarterback for them. Would we agree on that?
I'll be honest. I was kind of shocked by the move. I thought Drew Lock was going to win that job.
Most people said Drew Lock
I
was
didn't.
winning the job.
I never
Yeah.
thought Teddy B was going to do that, but Vic Fangio's ass is on the line, and he's trying to save himself by putting in somebody who's an experienced vet.
I mean, I think that he's the steadier option of the two, and I would trust that it's better for the fantasy options too. Cortland Sutton looked healthy, and Jerry Jeudy could be a stud this year. Javonte Williams, look out at running back.
Yeah.
This is a guy that I'll probably highlight when we talk about sleepers.
I'm cool on him, man. I told you about these fucking Denver running backs. Yeah, I'm cool.
You just got PTSD.
Yeah, I do.
Javonte Williams can play. Keep an eye out for that. But, I mean, it's good for the pass catchers, I think, and good for the Broncos' possible third wild card hopes.
Well, I think it makes sense that he's a quarterback. He's more efficient than Drew Lock, in my opinion, and he's got more experience.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of weapons,
steady.
like you said. Yeah, exactly. So,
So-
I'm not mad about it.
Steady Teddy.
Steady Teddy.
Next one, another QB battle one. Trevor Lawrence, who has looked pretty good the last couple preseason games. I mean, we're skeptical of his potential value this year, but he can run a little bit. I say this is also a boost. It's an obvious boost, and they got rid of Minshew as a result. So, obvious boost to the pass catchers and the offense. We don't even need to touch on that. All right?
Agreed.
I mean, keep an eye on him. Maybe he has possible value as a fantasy option. We need to see more. All right? We already talked about Travis Etienne missing a season. We said go get James Robinson. He's going to be, you should be looking at him probably about third round, maybe even higher.
I agree.
Guy was a top 7 running back, 5th in points per game last year.
He probably fits in around 4.
So, I mean, keep an eye.
Mm-hmm. Keep an
All right.
eye.
That job is his.
He and I.
This one stings, all right? J.K. Dobbins. I hate this, man. J.K. Dobbins out for the season with a torn ACL. Hate it, because he was literally on the fringe of my top 10. I almost put him at 10, and if I did that, I would have removed Saquon Barkley, and I would have had Dobbins at 10 and Carson at 9.
Really?
We can't even talk about it now. No, maybe not. I mean, listen, I wanted Dobbins to run away with that job badly. He's a stud.
He was going to.
It's a real shame.
Yeah.
But Gus Edwards now, possible top 20 running back option.
The Gus bus.
The Gus bus, and
Coming.
they extended him. They like him. So I don't think they're going to go out and add help. They might add like a half-decent backup because Justice Hill is more of a pass-catching guy.
Edwards is all right.
He can play.
Yeah,
is
he's
all
not
right.
a bum.
No,
he's
he's
good.
not.
So
He can
he'll be a workhorse, and that's a rushing attack to look out for. Like, he's got low key. He could be a top 15 running back just because of the team he's on.
Okay, so right there. Top 15, yes or no?
No, but he'll be close. He could be. He really could. This is the Ravens. This is one of the top
I would say top
rushing
20.
attacks.
I wouldn't go to 15.
I'm not going
That's
15
aggressive.
either. This
That's
is a
aggressive.
running back position, pretty top heavy, 10 to 15. 20 though, that's no shade right there. That's good. So, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Another thing, the Patriots trade Sony Michel to the Rams for 2 conditional picks. This comes after Darrell Henderson injures his thumb. So, I mean, the obvious implications here are that Darrell Henderson's the clear-cut starter. He's good. He's a fringe top 15, top 20 guy. Same boat as Gus Edwards. Talent on a good team. Probably top 20 for me. I'm not putting him in top 15. But if he gets hurt, Sony Michel, I mean, I don't think he can really play that much anymore. But he's the guy you want to target if there's an injury. Do we agree on that, or do you guys think there's more to this?
Yeah, I agree. I think he lost his burst from the 2019 season when they won the Super Bowl against the Rams. And then after that, he's just been
Good, just the injuries caught up.
Yeah.
That's all. He was good initially.
he's got speed.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt about that. But
I think he's a decent change of pace guy
Yeah.
for them.
I mean, it's better than what they had.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So there we go. And they won't be bringing back Todd Gurley, I suppose. Anyway, T.Y. Hilton, now expected to miss extended time with an unspecified injury. It is not season ending, but when you have to mention that, it means that dude's missing multiple weeks. Hey, guys, P&I special here. We already said look out for Michael Campbell. Jeez.
come on, brother. You know his
I
name.
can't believe I just said that.
You know his name.
I meant to say Paris Campbell, but obviously Michael Pittman was the primary P&I special here.
Damn right.
This is what happens when you talk so much during a show.
Michael Pittman Jr. is the fucking sleeper this year. I'm
Michael
telling you.
Pittman Jr. is a stud.
Absolutely.
He is now the wide receiver 1. But Paris Campbell, though, keep an eye. He was a sleeper last year.
He's a nice 2.
Possible breakout guy. I mean, he's got burners.
Yeah.
And Zach Pascal could play a lick.
He can.
So they got some guys there. I can't believe I just had that little mix-up of words for a second. Apologies there.
MPJ, baby.
Maybe T.Y. Hilton's a guy you can get late season for right off the waiver wire. Cheap option. Won't, wide receiver 3 at best, probably. All right. Lastly, Temple shout-out. We just talked about him. Robbie Anderson, 2-year, $29.5 million extension with the Panthers, $20 million guaranteed. Wow. TU.
Good for him.
Wow.
Good for him.
All right.
$20 million
Give him a clap,
guaranteed.
Phil. Give him a clap.
That means that's literally a 2-year deal. He ain't going nowhere.
He is a stud, but the reason we have to mention this last, not because he's Temple, but we already said the Panthers wide receiving core and the Panthers offense has some low-key intrigue.
I like
does.
Robbie Anderson, dude. I
Robbie
think
Anderson's
he's good.
a stud, man.
Yeah.
I
They
think he's
got
good.
DJ Moore and Terrace Marshall might also be a late-round sleeper.
He scored in
A
the preseason
stud.
game. Yeah.
Reunited with his boy, Joe Brady, LSU, okay? They got pieces. Look out. And CMC's back.
I agree, man.
No
I'm with you.
explanation
All on
needed.
board.
But that's it for this show. Guys, remember, recommend titles to us as much as possible. We got a lot of good ones to consider for this show. Also, just quick reminder, live streams permanently Mondays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. This week, we don't have a second one, but going forward, we will, okay? And other than that, Nick, go ahead, take it away.
Guys, thank you guys for hanging out with us in the live stream. We appreciate all the love, support, and the comments. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Also, give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and we'll see you guys Friday at P&I.